Rejection really sucks. Let's talk about why. Hi, I'm Dr. Catalina Lawsin, and I'm a clinical psychologist. And most of what I'm trying to share is around relationships and sex and the pathway to sorting those things out really all starts with ourselves. So, rejection sucks. And when I think about rejection, one thing we got to remember is how much rejection really cuts to our core of any fears of abandonment that we might have. And so sometimes it's even these little moments where maybe we didn't get a call back from the job we wanted, or we got ghosted by someone we just didn't even know online, or maybe our friend didn't show up when we wanted them to. All of those can trigger a sense of rejection. And if you're human, it's pretty common to think, oh, I'm a loser, or what's wrong with me? How come this didn't work out for me? How come these things always happen to me? And we tend to generalize. We tend to generalize and think mostly that there's something wrong with us. And that cycle continues and continues and continues. And at the end of the day, basically, we feel like a loser. Okay? If that at all resonates with you, one of the first things is to really just remember that you're human and that disappointment and rejection is absolutely part of life. But why does it suck, and why does it, if you have had some sense of feeling where maybe sometime in your past something traumatic or repetitively traumatic didn't work out as far as relying on someone. And generally when you think about this, it tends to stem back to how you were raised and whether or not your caregivers, whether that be your parents or your grandparents or even your older siblings, stood up and were there pretty consistently. Because one of the things that is at our basic human needs is this idea that we need to be taken care of. We need to be nurtured. And we didn't grow up like dolphins. We don't just come out and swim and free. We actually need to be taken care of. So our basic human needs, if those weren't taken care of, then we learn very, very early that we've been abandoned. And when you feel abandoned, then you feel unsafe. And your body spends its whole life trying to protect itself. So every time you feel these nudges of these feelings of rejection, or again, the trigger may be small, and which is why sometimes we forget. But when that happens, basically, we end up really getting triggered to some of our biggest, most human fears, and that's of abandonment. So this week I'm going to talk a lot about rejection and how it's connected with abandonment, what happens to our bodies. So this is just really the first one of saying, if you feel this way, know that you're human. Know that it's common, that at some point or another, even if you haven't had massive trauma or repetitive trauma in your past, that it sometimes doesn't take a lot for a moment of rejection to plant its seeds in our brains, our bodies, our nervous systems, every cellular cell we have, to actually leave its mark, and then our body goes into protection. So let's talk a little bit more about what happens to our body, about what are some common thoughts. And again, all of this is really just to heighten your awareness and understanding, so that hopefully at the end of the day you remember you are human, we all go through these struggles, and that there are ways to actually manage it. All right, check out my next video, guys, and always open to any comments or shares or feedback and any ideas of what else I can maybe speak to. All right, follow me on Instagram or Facebook or on my YouTube, and see you next time. Cheers. Bye.